How can you transform every single argument or potential argument with your husband into an opportunity for growth? Growth as a person, as a woman, growth as a couple, and even growth as a professional, as a business owner. Is this too much to dream of? Can we transform something horrible as arguments into something positive as growth? This is my thesis today, that indeed it is possible. And I can tell you that this is indeed possible because this is precisely what I have been doing for the past 15 years. And it's, for me, outstanding that after 15 years, I'm still with the very same guy, the father of my children. I'm madly in love with the man, and it looks like he also is. And you know, this is not given whatsoever. This is not luck, because I have absolutely no background in good relationships. My parents got divorced really quickly. They were madly in love with each other, but very easily they got into arguments, and arguments exploded in days. And when I was little, I really didn't understand what they were arguing, because I was listening to them and they would say, argument A. My mother will say, and my father will say, no, 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 you're wrong. It is argument A. And I was really puzzled because in my perception, they were really talking about the same thing, just louder. And their argument just extended for days and for years until they divorced. It was terrible. But it was a great lesson of what I didn't want to have. And for years, I repeated that. I repeated this way of having relationships that was arguments for the most stupid things, for the cup of coffee, for the toothbrush, and I repel all these wonderful potential relationships I could have with other men before my husband. So what happened that was so different with him? What happened? Well, I will tell you, but you need to smash the like button right now, because it's good karma. Does really good to my channel, and it will make me really happy. So are you ready? What is the big difference? What was the big difference between all those failed relationships and my husband? Not my husband, because you see, I cannot control that. He is the way he is. He's a human being, as perfect as and loving and lovable that I can say that he is. He's full of mistakes because he's human. The big difference is that I have committed for the rest of my life to work in my own personal development. Committed for the rest of my life to continue the inquiry of what is my soul here to do in this planet. I heard recently this fantastic phrase that truth is the end of inquiry. The moment when you think that you know, the moment you think that you know, you find prejudice, because you think that you know. You have to stop asking questions. When you stop asking questions, you stop growing. When you stop growing, you start dying. So I have taken this very seriously, so seriously that I see my relationship as an opportunity for growth, spiritual growth, emotional growth. Imagine that. If you took that metaphor at heart, if you saw your husband as the vehicle of a spiritual expansion, of a spiritual growth, the way of interacting with him will be completely different. Completely different. I can tell you this. My husband is more messy than I am. That's almost true in almost all relationships, because statistically, women tend to be a little bit more higher in this cost in personality than men. So my husband used to leave everything everywhere. And the thing that really pissed me off was the socks. So when we started dating, when we started, tiptoeing into becoming an item, I saw that. And I thought for myself, well, this man is just so ideal in so many ways, except the socks. Well, I either accept him or I will be fighting with him for the rest of my life. So I figured I will accept that he was lower in disgust than I. I accepted that he will leave the plate in the wrong place and the socks in the wrong place, and I will not argue because I will accept him. That sounds lovely, but could I do it? Well, I couldn't. At some point, I just exploded in anger, and I just wanted to punch him because he left the socks again in the wrong place. But then I remember the promise I made to myself. This relationship is here to expand me. This experience is here to expand me. I look again at the socks and I thought, in which way could this be here to expand me? Another way philosophers tell us to deal with this question is to think, this is happening for me. This messy man is happening for me. These dirty socks are happening for me. And really channel your anger into this question. What if this is happening for me? What can I be learning? In which way I am resisting? You see that people who are really high in disgust and they end up developing OCD, what psychologists offer them to do is to get a dog, because the dog will be so messy that they will help them to expand their psychological range. So then I figured, wow, my husband is expanding my tolerance so that I don't become so uptight and so orderly that I am inflexible. Those socks are there to show me that I am being very inflexible. Ooh! Some people will say, well, oh, Blanca, are you crazy? Well, this really has expanded me. It has expanded my thought. The way I used to live my life before him was everything so planned. I had a master plan to do everything. And what he has taught me with his flexibility is that to go on holiday, instead of taking my friend the master plan, we take his friend, Will See. And Will See, his friend Will See, is such a good friend. When I was pregnant with my daughter, which is my second pregnancy, I was, of course, still very orderly, and I was doing my Excel file with all the scenarios that could happen. If this happened, this is the telephone of this person. If this happened in the drawer, there is this thing. If this happened, and then I came up with a horrible scenario of bleeding, of hospital, of really horrible scenario, and I couldn't come up with a solution or resources to give him to solve the problem in the time I would be bleeding. So he came to me and he says, with a big smile and big hug, he says, look, Blanca, in the first place, that scenario is not going to happen. In the second place, I will deal with it. And this allowed me to be more flexible. And then it did not become an argument. So this is my one advice that I give to you. And this is what has changed my life in the past 15 years. Consider the relationship as a great opportunity to expand your soul, to expand your spirit, to expand your life. If you do that, every single interaction with your husband, from the socks, the breakfast plate, the plan for the pregnancy, where you park the car, how you do with these investments, how you raise your teenager, anything will be an opportunity to expand your soul, to expand your possibilities. And can you imagine how this will translate in your business? You will be able to be more tolerant, or you will be able to be more courageous, or you will be able to be more, flexible or more inflexible. And as you work in this belief of being together will expand you, it will become true. And for this, you need to be curious and you need to be persistent. Obviously, you will need to have good conversations and plan good conversations. But without this definite stance that this is here to expand me, this is here for me, without this, nothing happens. With it, everything goes right. I sincerely hope this has helped you. If you are inspired and you would like to work with me, because I am a coach, contact me. Blanca.Vergara/yes. We have a conversation. We see what you need. I specifically work well with women, mothers, married women who have to handle the pressures of work, the pressures of entrepreneurship in combination with intimacy. And this is putting, a stress in all fronts. And I can do that because, I do that myself for many years. I understand you and I actually love you. If this means something to you, contact me, blancavergara.com/yes. Let's have a conversation. Let's start changing the way we do business and the way we enjoy love so that the divine feminine living is a reality for you. Have a wonderful day and I see you next week.